Harriet's Daughter, Chapter 3, written by Marlene Norbes Phillip and read by me, Rianne Crosby. My father is always telling me I should do my homework in my room so I can concentrate better. I like the kitchen. It's warm. It's got a nice red tiled floor and has a friendly feeling. My mother likes to iron there as well, not in the basement like my father would like her to, and I like to sit there and talk to her sometimes. I was sitting in the kitchen one evening doing my homework and thinking about swearing. It must have been right after our swearing lesson. Why else would I have been thinking about swearing? My mother didn't think it was proper to swear. Even words like damn and blasted, which you hear on TV all the time. She says these words are too heavy for my tongue to lift up. So as I was sitting there thinking about this and figuring out my maths problem, I said to my mom, "Look, Mom, damn blasted shit. See, my tongue can lift them up. It's real easy too." She got all righteous with me and sent me up to my room to finish my homework. That is what I don't understand about adults. How when you show them they're wrong, they always punish you for their mistake. All I was doing was showing her I could use those words and the world wouldn't come to an end. Also, I don't really think any word is good or bad. It's what you do with it and how you use it. But my mother, she doesn't know any better. After all, she does live with him. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give her a 5 and maybe another 3 points for sympathy for living with him. Him, I would give her -10. A lot of the time, I feel sorry for my mom. She lets my father push her around too much. She fights back sometimes, but not often enough. There are times when I want to take her and shake her and say, "Stand up for yourself," like the Bob Marley song, "Get up, stand up for your rights." I'm sure she would pretend she had never heard of Bob Marley. My father, of course, would say he was a disgrace to black people. No, he would never say black, but colored people, capital C, capital P. Some people, I don't know who, and I don't care to know either, might say I had nothing to complain about, but I think I do. My mom thinks that because I am a girl, I should like to dress up and wear makeup like my sister, that I should always be polite and not swear or curse. I say to her, "Look, Mom, if someone calls you a name like nigger, what do you want me to do? Say, 'Excuse me, you shouldn't say that'?" No way. I tell them exactly where to go. And when I tell her where that is, she gets pissed off with me and sends me to my room. I discovered a word a few days ago, neurotic. I looked it up in the dictionary, and that's what I think my mother is, neurotic. My father, on the other hand, he's a male chauvinist pig, no doubt about that. That's what I mean about having problems with parents. One a neurotic, the other a male chauvinist pig. I mean, like, why else would my mother always be buying things? We don't need half the things she buys, but she still buys them. If you go in our basement, you'll find 3 sewing machines, 4 electric irons, 3 toasters, and on and on and on. And these aren't new things. She buys them all at second-hand stores, but we don't need them. Sometimes she and my father fight about it, and she calls the Goodwill or Salvation Army, and they come and pick up some of the things. And beds. Beds she buys new. It seems like every year one of us gets a new one. She has this thing about beds. I think it must be because she was really poor when she was a child. She doesn't think about it much, but every so often my father, the MCP, brings it up to show how far we have come. She just sits there and lets him go on and on about how she doesn't want to remember how poor she was, how she didn't have a bed to sleep on, and would often only have sweetened water for lunch. Sometimes though, especially when he's not around, she can be real nice. Then I can get her to braid my hair. She really doesn't like to do it, braid my hair. She thinks it's kind of lower class. Only poor people, she says, would cornrow their hair. Now, no matter how many Essence magazines I show her with these super cool black women wearing braids, she just sucks her teeth and says it's all foolishness. That Straightened hair is so much better. Of course, my sister Joanne, the chub queen herself, has her hair straightened with all kinds of gunk. One day though, I even got Mom to braid my hair and Zulma's. We were like two African princesses, except my skin wasn't dark enough. I wish I had Zulma's kind of dark black skin. It's just like velvet. And with her long braids, ooh, she was beautiful. I wish my mom would stick up for me more though, with my father. He's always trying to push me around, not physically, but he's always on at me about something, how I'm not like Joanne, thank God, how I'm too rude and how I need some good West Indian discipline, in capitals of course. There are a lot of capitals around my house. Rudeness, colored people, punctuality, respect for adults, and on and on. One day I got so fed up with him going on about good West Indian discipline. I said to him, "Dad, you're always talking about good West Indian discipline. What is bad West Indian discipline?" He gave me this look, like he didn't know if I was being rude or not. Then he made a kind of noise that he makes in his throat. It's a real gross sound, and he continued eating. I could barely keep from smiling. For once I had shut him up. I took a quick glance at my sister, and she was sniggering too. My father is always going on about how important it is to do well at school and get good grades and all that stuff, because being colored people, we have to be twice as good to get anywhere, and I believe him. I just wish he wouldn't go on so about it. Once or twice a year would be enough. Instead, it's like every week we get this lecture. The funny thing is that although I get good marks and I'm at the top of the class, he still prefers Joanne, who's lucky if she scrapes a 50 average. Then there's my dear brother Jonathan, the great rib roast prime minister I call him. He's so perfect, not half as smart as me, but he's going to be a lawyer, my father says. Me, he says, my mouth will get me in trouble. I keep wishing my brother would scrape my father's car. He's just learning to drive, but no such luck. I really don't understand how girls can like him. They're always calling him. He's so lifeless, so perfect. He won't wear an afro because that's too strict, his words, and punk, of course, horrifies him. He wants his hair cut low like my father's, and he even chews like my father now, like a cow, slow and stupid. I don't want to say my father is a bad man. He's not. It's just that he's a phony in a lot of ways, and I can't stand phonies. The only thing he's got going for him is that he's an adult. He's a phony because he goes on at my mother about how she won't keep her money in the bank, and she won't. She has this partner's savings scheme where she and her women friends pool their money and take turns getting it. Every month, my mother puts $100 into the kitty along with her friends. I think there were 9 of them, including my mother. One month, my mother gets $900. The next month, Daisy gets it. The next month, Dorcas, and so on until all 9 of them have each got $900. He, my father, says this is primitive, that she's losing interest, that she's got to move into the modern age and leave the past behind her. He's an accountant with the government, so this really burns him up. But he plays dominoes. He and all these men from the West Indies sit around all day and play this real stupid game. My mother doesn't like him playing. She says he wastes his Saturdays when he could be helping her. He likes the game, but wishes he didn't. I've heard him telling my mother that he has done the best of all the men he plays with, that he thinks it too lower class, but he still plays and goes on at my mom about her partner's savings scheme. That's why I say he's a phony. He's not leaving his past behind him, but he wants her to. And he's so concerned about being colored, which as far as I can see means being stuffy and boring and not liking anything worth liking, like the Wailers, hip-hop or calypso, or even Caribana, our version of carnival.